Okay, so a little rundown. I work psychically for the first part. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just blending with your aura, and I'm really zoning in on your spiritual development and what I would say are your spiritual files. Okay, so I'm just going to take a look at those. And what I'm looking for in this is maybe what you're currently doing in development. How did you get here? What are some potentials that I may see? What are the best way to overcome any challenges in terms of this work for you? That's really mostly what I look for. And then
Hmm.
the second part, I'll connect with your spirit team. I just connect with them as a unit and get through whatever I feel like they want you to know. Okay.
Okay.
I'll make sure we have time for questions afterward if you have something that comes up. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Okay.
cool.
I'm just going to go ahead and start by blending with your energy first. Okay, well, this is the first thing that comes in really strong, really, really strong, is that there's two things. You are absolutely a lover of learning. So you've learned from many different people, and also just like doing your own research is something, because what I can see right now is that you're on the computer and you will Google stuff or look up different things, and then you will go and you will practically apply it. So for you, not only do you love learning, but you're very studious as well about what you learn because you have high expectations for yourself, I would say. Now, so there's all these things about being a learner and constantly wanting to like find something new and cover all of your bases is the big thing that I see a lot of the time. Do you understand so far?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
totally.
like you have something where you're one of your challenges that you don't want to miss anything. It's kind of like making sure that you're really covering all your bases and getting precise with what you do. Because the second thing that comes really, really strongly for me is that you don't give yourself credit for the abilities that you already have, truly. And that it's not that you don't have confidence, because you do have a certain level of confidence in yourself, but you don't allow yourself to have confidence at the same level that your abilities merit. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So it's kind of like you know that you know how to do this. Like deep down, when all the ego stuff is pulled away, you've got like a better level of confidence than people would think because you're so open. Sometimes people underestimate the level of confidence that you do have because you know that you have pretty darn good abilities. However, your abilities merit an even higher level of confidence than what you actually allow yourself to have, because you'll second guess yourself when you don't need to be second guessing yourself.
Totally.
Because when you give readings, a lot of the time, you get lots of specific different pieces of evidence, and they're very accurate. Do you understand this?
Hmm.
And a lot of this is so funny. A lot of the evidence that you get, sometimes it's kooky stuff. Do you understand that?
Oh,
You,
yeah,
you get
totally.
evidence that's kooky that nobody else gets. Like, it's not just like age, gender, those kinds of things. You understand that stuff, but you get like the kooky stuff where they're like, how did you get that? That's so interesting. Because you're kind of that person where you're very observant about people and things, and you notice a lot, you take in a lot about other people. And that's something that's expanded your frame of reference to allow you to get the jaw-dropping validations that are not common for mediums. Because as you know, you watch a lot of mediums too. Do you understand that?
Yeah, yeah,
Love
totally.
watching other people read. That's one of your most favorite things to do. You love to watch other people read, and then you like to like take stuff and try it, or you'll say things like, "Oh, I can't do that," when you probably could. So you're always watching, always watching, always watching. But you've expanded your frame of reference to get that really, sometimes it's really funny, obscure stuff. But it's really cool. I mean, and this is the thing I have to say to you right now is that you being able to read and get like the obscure stuff is awesome. It's one of your superpowers, I would say. And when I say that, you should be able to understand that when I say this, it's actually a significant, almost trademark thing of how you read. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
totally
do.
is.
It's so funny that you bring this up, and yes, you're right about the I just booked your group reading because 'cause I'm like, "I gotta see that," and I have a one-on-one with you, and I'm like, "I don't care, I gotta see how she does in a group because I do really like, ever since I got into this, I'm like, "I wanna see how everybody reads," and I just have
Yeah.
an appreciation of, like,
Yes.
I'm just in awe, whoever it is, I'm like, "Wow, that's awesome."
I know. And that I like the way you say that as well, because being in awe of other things, that is like the open, loving energy that you give. So here's the other thing that's really interesting about you. Because of the fact that you're so open, you're very easy for other people to read. So when other people read you, they often tell you things, like they often get little other pieces that you're kind of surprised about as well. Do you understand this?
Yeah,
And
totally.
that's something I have to say right away. I have to give you a really big acknowledgement because you're incredibly generous with your energy. You're incredibly generous with your belief in other people. And you're incredibly generous with your encouragement of others. And like you said, that awe of others, you don't feel like it's taking away from you at all. You do sometimes, how would I say this? Self-deprecate is kind of harsh, but sometimes you'll say, "Oh, I can't do that." But the thing is, I think you can. Because you're not comfortable necessarily acting the level of confidence that you have because you don't want to try to outshine others. That would be extremely uncomfortable for you. Do you understand that piece?
Yeah,
You don't want
totally.
to try to outshine others. You never want to be the person who seems like they're full of themselves. That's actually one of your worst fears. But that's also why you have this good level of confidence because you know you get really good stuff that lets people know spirit is with them. And that's the healing aspect of mediumship. And you're very good at that. It also feels to me that you are working professionally or that you're about to work professionally. Do you understand something about this? And wait, before I go any further, what's really interesting is that for you, charging money for what you do is a total tricky thing for you. Do you understand that? That you have a hard time accepting money for what you do?
That's the part I'm at. That's funny that you said that because I'm like, a couple months ago, I was working one-on-one with someone like a mentor, and she's like, "Okay, yeah, you're ready to go." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And then I just
And you
totally
hesitated.
what I was like, I can't. No, I gotta practice more. I gotta do more." So
So
now I'm like,
you
"Okay,
understand
do
this?
I or do I not?" I'm like,
Because
I
you,
don't
it's
know.
like this is
Yeah,
what's so interesting because when I say like you're either working professionally or on the verge of doing it,
yeah,
accurate, isn't it?
totally, totally,
Because
yeah.
I get this huge thing coming in right now that's just like you are completely capable and should be paid for the work that you do. And I'm going to say this because you know I was an online marketing strategist and this is my area right now. So I'm just going to tell you this. I talk to women all the time about being willing to accept money for the gifts that they have to offer. And you are overdue. You are overdue with being accepting money for the energy that you so generously give. And not only is it that, but your presentation, you make your sitter feel incredibly comfortable. You make them feel loved. You bring across information in a way that is kind. And your sitters often, almost all the time, very much feel the presence, very much know that their person is there in spirit because of the evidence that you get. So I say this lovingly without judgment at all. But from what I see in your spiritual files right now, you are past due for starting to accept money for what you receive, except that there's something about receiving money for your services
Dude,
that
that's such a big one where I feel
it's
like I was
so
like, just
huge.
what a jerk. Like I really
And
do.
yet,
It's
here's
hard.
what's
It's
so
hard.
hilarious. You don't look at it in that way. You don't think that I'm a jerk about it. It's really
No.
interesting. There's a part of you that's like, oh my God, I couldn't do that, but I'll pay it, is your thing.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'll
totally.
totally
And I'm
invest.
like, yeah, I'm like,
Exactly.
take my money, man. Take it.
Except that when it comes to receiving, and this is okay, I know that your team is going to want to talk about this right now because they're trying to come through right now, and I'm trying to tell them to wait. But I will tell you that this is one of the biggest things that they're going to want to talk to you about and that I want to talk to you about. Okay. Because
Mhm.
what you really need to hear, this is the interesting thing about you. Another human can tell you this as many times, but it really has a hard time getting in there. It doesn't change the way you feel, which is like incredibly uncomfortable, almost guilty for even thinking about charging something. But if you were
Totally.
to hear it from someone who feels like they're on the other side and they understand a bigger picture of life, it would make a bigger difference for you. Do you understand that
Yeah,
too?
big time,
You want your
100%.
team to tell you their
Yeah, my
charge because
teams.
I'm not going to have the same effect as that. Okay. But and so I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I'm going to tell you that one of the biggest things holding you back in your development right now is not necessarily confidence of your skills. Well, that's a small aspect of it. It's ownership of your skills.
Right, yeah,
There's
that's
there's a very
right.
big difference between those two things, right? Because you can get evidence. And the other thing that I have to tell you right now that I can see is that your mediumship is only going to grow. However, this is something that I believe is holding you back from going to that next level because charging is going to add a certain amount of pressure. And what you're afraid of is that you're not going to be able to read as well when you start charging.
Right, right,
Okay. And
totally.
so I'm going to tell you right now that when you start charging, you don't have to charge very much. You just have to charge something. And
Okay,
then what I'm going to tell you right now too is a couple things. I don't care how much you charge. I just care that you charge. And I'm getting this psychically from you as well right now, too. Okay. Here's the other thing. What you need to be told right now is, how do I take the pressure off once I charge? I need to get back to not feeling pressure. And what I'm going to tell you right now is not going to relieve the pressure in this moment. But as you think about it and feel into it, and you just scare the shit out of yourself and do it a few times, you'll realize that it is taking the pressure off. Here's one thing. You don't have to record your readings. You can do an R&R system. That means if 10 minutes in you can't get anything, offer to reschedule or offer a refund. That way, there is no
Yeah.
pressure. There is no pressure.
Right.
And transparency. That's another thing I'm going to tell you. Tell them, I've been reading. I'm very good at what I do. I'm starting to receive for my services because I have to have a good energetic balance between what I give and what I get. And charging is really hard for me. And so it's made it more difficult for me to read. I'm telling you this because I want you to know I have every ability to bring through your loved one. But I also want you to know that I'm going to need a little bit of patience to help me link up with your loved one, because this is a vulnerable state for me to be in. Be transparent. Find people who are willing to pay a good price and just say, I'm just starting to charge because my readings are that good, but this adds an extra level of patience. I'm looking for a kind soul who wants to connect and who's, willing to make this exchange with me. You will get those people. You'll have to
Okay.
beat them away with a stick. But do you understand? Actually, there is a piece of you that feels like, oh, I can do that. I can say that. Do you understand that right now?
Yeah.
And that does give you a little bit of peace around it, right? But you
Right.
don't want people to look at you as if like you don't have the skills that you have. But
Oh, that's totally what it
that's the
is.
thing you
That's
don't want
like
to do. You don't want to out yourself and say, I'm not very good at this, but that's not what you're saying. You're saying, I'm great
Right.
at this. And anyone who's a medium understands that now starting to charge and working professionally adds an extreme amount of pressure, which does not mix with mediumship. And that this
Right.
is a common thing that mediums go through. Who are the first few people who'd like to experience this? That can offer that calming energy with me so that this could be an easy transition.
Right.
So
Totally. And part of it is that once I charge too, it's like the student in me goes, okay, you better be, this is a game once you
I know
charge.
I can
That
I
the
can read it
pressure in me,
everywhere. Well,
and the outing of, oh crap, I'm actually medium and actually charging for this. Like,
yeah.
like,
Well,
so it's that double
your
thing of
mind,
like,
all I
you
can
better
see is
be.
I see this big sign all in lights and over your forehead that says, once I do it, I can never go back.
It totally.
That's what everything you said just boils down to.
Right.
You feel like
Totally.
this is an irreversible step.
Right.
It's not. You can also say, hey, I've decided I'm gifting 5 sessions this month. You
Yeah,
can
that's
practice
true
in it.
too.
There's a million ways to go around this. I know because I am a
Okay.
business person. There's a million ways to make this not be your only option for the rest of your life. Because what you think is going to happen is that you're going to charge. First of all, people aren't going to be willing to pay it. And then once they do, you'll be excited for 2 seconds before you feel like you're going to die.
Yeah,
Then
right.
all your readings are going to suck forever and they're never going to be good. But this is going to be the only option for you to give readings. And it's going to take all the joy out of it. And there's no going back. That's
Right.
the worst fear ballooned out. Your
Right.
worst fear, if I can be really honest with you, is a load of heaping bullshit. It will not happen that way. And even if you go through some readings that you think aren't very good, you will progress past that point. But what I'm going to tell you right now is that on the other side of you charging and getting outside of your comfort zone in this way, which has to do with ownership of your gifts and charging, is your abilities expanding to a level far beyond what they are right now. I feel it so strongly in you. There's a whole nother chapter for you waiting. And spirit, I'm just telling you because I know they want to jump in and just say, like, we are really asking of you to take ownership of your abilities because they're damn good. They're damn good and they're very unique. And there's something really powerful about the uniqueness of your gifts and the loving energy and capacity you have to hold space for other people. It creates the ultimate experience for a sitter when they feel safe and they get to connect with their loved one and they get to feel that the person on the other side is a normal person. And I mean by the other side of the screen or the other side of the chair, right?
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah, totally.
is a
But
kind.
I mean, and what's funny that you said, okay, about the quirky evidence.
Yes.
I'm just gonna tell you this experience because this was right in my development, and I was practicing with this other circle. This was like in the beginning, okay? And you know, I mean, just random stuff. Someone that had dementia, and I'm like literally listing off stuff in this lady's purse. And then the relative was like, "Oh my god, her purse got stolen." And I was like, "Okay, well, she's saying, like, how important this was," and, like, they dogged on me in the group because they're like, "Oh, but you didn't get name, age, date," and
Mhm.
that just, like, took me down, and then I realized, I was like, "Wait a minute, but yeah, I could give that stuff, but it's to me, it's more powerful that I gave that." But that, like, took me down. I had to come out of that and be like, "Oh,
Mm.
why am I not giving name, date, age?" It's amazing that you said that too, because I had to be like, "Alright, I like that I get not the average."
Own it. You gotta own all that.
Yeah.
I will tell you one thing. My mom is my best friend, and when she passes, if somebody tells me how old she was, her gender, and all these things, I'll be like, "Okay, great, thanks." But I would love for somebody to talk about the red brush that she always carries in her purse. And if they did, I'd be like, "You got my mom." And that would make me weep because that is what's far more important to me. What does she want to say to me? Tell me about how she was. And that's exactly what you do. And you find
Right.
these little things that no one could possibly know.
And
Um,
that's right on. Everything that you saw, that's exact I'm like, "Dang, that in itself is amazing that you boiled it." Every one of my, what about this? What about that?" You, like, literally boiled it down.
I
Like,
can't go back.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's totally it.
We're gonna move on to your spirit team, okay?
Okay.
Um,